Hello everyone, my name is Mira and I'm from the Russian Federation. First of all, I would like to thank Ewha Women University and Global eSchool for providing me with this opportunity. Moreover, I'd like to thank the Professor Nalsanga who read our lectures and my Moscow State Linguistic University teacher Tatiana Mosul who helped me to get on this course. In this course, through South Korean films, the professor introduced us to the complex and unique Korean society, its culture, politics, history, social problems, and even language. Today, I'd like to show highlights of what I've learned and comment on why I believe them to be important for understanding Korea. Moreover, I will try to draw some comparisons between Korea and my country to show that we have much more in common than one may think. The first two films that we had watched were Frozen Flower and Physiognomy, both of which refer to Korean history. The first one tells a story about the end of the Korean dynasty and the second one about the beginning of the Joseon era. These films are actually a great way to visualize how Korea might have looked back then. For me personally, before watching these films, it was a complicated time period, but all those historical figures became real and Korean history came to life. That is why I'm sure that everyone who is struggling with understanding Korean history should watch historical dramas and films, particularly this one. Although nowadays many people prefer cards to banknotes, still all citizens know what is depicted on the banknotes, as the pictures reflect values of the country. On Korean banknotes we can see crucial figures from the Joseon era, and what touches my heart the most is that all of these people, first of all, are people of great minds who did so much for their dear country. In my country, people who depicted on the banknotes too did a lot for their people, and I think it's wonderful that our country is valued its heroes in this sense. Hum Cha Sa is the expression that has a very interesting origin. Li Bangwon sent envoys to his father Li Songye several times to congratulate him on his succession, but Li Songye had some of them killed or locked up, imprisoned, so no envoy returned. And this expression is used when talking about someone who is very slow and who cannot carry out any task on time. In Russia, there is a very peculiar expression with the same meaning. If translated in English, it sounds like can be sent only after death, meaning that the person is so slow that you wouldn't like him or her to do anything except for sending for the angel of death, like Chosin Saja, because this person probably would be late with his task and you may live a little longer. Sukjumaon, or bean sprouts in English, has too a very interesting origin. It originated from the name of the character Shin Sokju, who moved from Tandong to Prince Suyang during Joseon Dynasty. If we look at bean sprouts, we can notice they shape their hats like indecisive people, like whom Shin Sokju was. In the 20th century, Park Chung-hee became the third president of South Korea. He ruled South Korea as an authoritarian dictator and remained a controversial figure in modern South Korean political discourse. During his rule, Park began a series of economic reforms that eventually led to rapid economic growth and industrialization, now known as the Miracle of the Han River, giving South Korea one of the fastest growing national economies during the 60s and 70s of the 20th century, although with its cost to economic inequality and labor rights. This led to certain social problems like violence. On the example of film Once Upon a Time in high school, I saw what life in Korea was like in 70s of 20th century. The world of young people back then was full of violence at school and at home. maybe social development couldn't keep up with economic development, and the society's reaction was quite radical. Mama 잘했어요. This phrase means mind your own business, and it was said by KF-Ewha when she first came out of jail. There are several expressions in Russian that mean the same thing, and this can be roughly rendered in English as don't put your nose in others' business, don't interfere with others' business. The role of community. In the end of 20th century, state and family community indifference had a great impact on elders. Children refused to support baby boomers. The welfare system also failed to protect baby boomers, and after all, the most important community of them was their brotherhood. It strengthened their mental and emotional bonds. But as the collapse of local communities increased since the 21st century, now Korea faces the problem of senior suicide. 맞성과 소개팅. And last but not least, I would like to talk about dates. Though the main two forms of dating in Korea are mansong and sogeting. The first one is not like arranged marriage. If an arranged marriage is a marriage in which parents choose a child's spouse and make them meet each other, son or matson is actually a form in which children are given freedom of choice over arranged marriages. But the most recent and popular form of meeting someone is sogeting, and actually it is a compound of two words, soge, to introduce, and meeting, or English meeting. In 90s, sogeting meant meeting a candidate who can marry through someone's introduction. But nowadays, it doesn't mean that the person necessarily looks for a marriage partner, but rather for a romantic candidate in general. Thank you for your attention.